If we think about Operation Warp Speed a few years ago in history, this brought a new vaccine to the market very quickly in 11 months. Many vaccines took as much as a decade to come to the market, but they had many different vaccines for the COVID virus, which was a major problem in our world. They had the inactivated viruses, which was a coronavax, one that contains the protein subunits, the Novavax, the viral vectors with their AstraZeneca and J&J, and the mRNA vaccines, the Pfizer and Moderna. So those are sort of some of the major vaccines that were made in response to this. And through the studies to date, we've learned a lot about not only the COVID-19, but we've also learned a lot about the vaccines, especially some of the causes of damage that we've seen. And it sort of goes back a lot to the spike protein. A lot of studies have looked at the lipid nanoparticles, the destabilization of the renin-angiotensin system, and the ACE receptor problems, which can lead to thrombosis, endothelial, which is the lining of blood vessels, how that's damaged. Well, many different causes of problems related to the COVID-19 itself, as well as the vaccines have been talked about. And as of May of last year, just some of the reports on the VAERS system, those that reported it, they've thought over 1.5 million adverse events. This is related to vaccines, over 35,000 deaths, many cases of pericarditis and heart problems. So with that involved, that's why the authors came up, they wanted to look at some data that could add to our understanding to reveal more truth regarding this, and that's why they looked at all the study. And what these authors did is they looked at all of the studies, the autopsy studies, to gather evidence. And they wanted evidence about the findings in deaths immediately after the COVID-19 vaccination. So they originally looked at 678 studies, and they had some inclusion criteria. And eventually they came down with 44 papers, 325 autopsy cases, and 1 necropsy case. And so that's what they looked at, and they did a pretty good job, I thought, of going through, and these are hard tests to look at, but they came from cases from all over the world. That wasn't just one place. They looked at the temporal relationship. How soon after a vaccine did we have a death leading to an eventual autopsy? So they looked at the strength of evidence, and they looked at other potential etiology of deaths. And they looked at the 44 studies, and there were 3 different independent reviewers that had much experience in looking at histology and autopsy to come up with conclusions.